I want to thank you all members of the press for coming out, members of the community, constituents, people from the YES program, Mary Reed, people from our local school board, Make the Road New York, all the many of the stakeholders in our community who have come today for this very exciting news, this very exciting press conference. I am here with my colleague Angie Carpenter, the town supervisor of the township of Islip, to make a very important announcement. And we are announcing that we are involved in a collaborative effort to work in conjunction to address the issue of Clemente Park and to bring back Clemente Park bigger and better. After a sad history of recent events in Clemente Park, we have reached across the aisle to be able to work and do what our constituents expect. Expect us to put politics aside, partisanship aside, and make it work. There's no Republican way to fix a park. There is no Democratic way to make a spray park. It's just a people way that we as colleagues can work and do what our constituents expect of us. I am announcing today that I've been able to secure $2 million to bring a state-of-the-art spray park to Clemente Park, modeled by the one that you see right behind us right now, an unprecedented project for the town of Brentwood that will service the working families and the children of Brentwood and Central Islip. This has come about, this has not come about solely because of Assemblyman Ramos. This has come about because of the working relationship between myself and our wonderful town supervisor, Angie Carpenter, as well as the stakeholders in our community and those in the community who also have been clamoring for movement in the park so that we can progress and start to develop. And it's important that the community be engaged, and they have been engaged since day one on this issue of the park. Today is a day of positive news. It's a day of turning the page on this sad chapter of history in the town of Brentwood. It's a day to put behind us the issues of what happened and say, what are we going to do as a community? What are we going to do to make it better? And that's what we do in Brentwood and CI. When we have issues, we come back bigger and better. This project is coming to our town as a result of the resilience, as a result of the involvement of the stakeholders, as a result of the wonderful relationship that we have developed on both sides of the aisle and different levels, jurisdictions of government to be able to make this happen. Now, I don't want to give false expectations, right? It doesn't mean that tomorrow the gates open. To build a park like this certainly does not happen overnight. But it does mean that those gates padlocked will now stop. Progress will begin. We will bring it back. We will start construction, not only in the park. I know our town supervisor has many other improvements that they are bringing to the park, and they're planning and they're fixing things up. So it's important for the community to understand that we are moving forward, where we have been stagnated for the past couple of years because of environmental studies, because of trying to come up with a plan to remediate the damage that was done there. I have a second announcement that is very important. And Supervisor Carpenter, if you will excuse my indulgence, because my colleague doesn't even know about this announcement, because I just received the news this morning. The DEC has contacted me and advised me that they have totally accepted the plan that the town of Islip has submitted, and that the door will be open now for development and the road to recovery for the town of Brentwood and Central Islip to bring this beautiful spray park, to bring back a bigger and better Clemente Park. I want to again thank you all for attending, and I want to introduce my colleague and my partner in this project, Town Supervisor Angie Carpenter. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Assemblyman. Thank you so much, Assemblyman Ramos, my partner, my friend. This is really, truly an exciting time in the town of Islip, for the town of Islip, and for all of our residents. I listened very carefully when Phil was speaking, and when you spoke about this was a blight in the history of Brentwood. Well, what happened at that park was a blight and a sad day for all of the residents of the town of Islip. And when I first came to the town a year ago, March, that certainly was at the top of my agenda. We needed to make things right. We moved forward. We were able to effectuate the cleanup in a time frame that was under budget and ahead of schedule, on schedule. So that was important. And then it took us to the next step. And I'm so glad that you said that. We can't have false expectations on when this is going to happen. We all want this to happen yesterday, but there are certain milestones that you have to hit, certain things that you have to do. And one of the most important is approval from the DEC with our plan for going forward for the park. So this is such exciting news to hear today, because it's been going back and forth over the past number of months. We submitted our plan, they had a few changes, we sent it back. So it's been going back and forth, and we've been waiting since the beginning of July. So this is really great news. But when the Assemblyman contacted me about wanting to do something extra special for Clemente, I threw out the idea of the spray park. We had met, we have an advisory group in place, and Mary Reed is here, who serves on our advisory board. Carolyn and the members of YES, many stakeholders in the community are participating. We've met, we've discussed plans, ideas for what the community wants to see in that area. And Mary can attest to this. Spray park was one of the first things. And I'm like, oh, a spray park. And I'm knowing how much it cost. And I'm like, well, how about a spray pad? Because they're cheaper. But the Assemblyman, with his stick-to-itiveness, was able to secure the amount of funds we're going to need to have it be a full-blown spray park. And I think that is so exciting for not only the hamlet of Brentwood and CI and everyone immediately around it, but for each and every member of our communities across the town of Islip, because it's another thing that we will be able to point to with a sense of pride, as we do with so many of our treasures that we have in our town. So I, on behalf of the 330,000 residents in the town of Islip, I can't thank you enough for your willingness to kind of like roll up your sleeves and really quietly behind the scenes see how we can make things happen, without the fanfare, without the politics. So this is really, truly wonderful. I want to also acknowledge our Commissioner, Tom Owens, who has also been part of this process. He sits with the advisory group. Mark Taramina, who's our head lifeguard, who also is going to be involved, because lifeguards will be necessary at the spray park. But if you would, Assemblyman, I would like to, with your indulgence, invite Mary Reed to come up and say a few words. Mary has long been known as a stalwart in the Brentwood, Bayshore, CI community, and in the town of Islip for that matter. She serves as a trustee on the Brentwood Library Board, and we're so happy that she's willing to volunteer to be part of our community advisory group. So without further ado, Mary Reed.
Thank you so much. What an exciting day. As a member of the advisory board and a constituent of District 6, I am so thankful to Assemblyman Ramos for getting us this grant, and I'm looking forward to this spray park. My children, I've already told them, my grandchildren, that it would be a splash pad, and I can go home and feel good and say, listen, we made it, we got a spray park. Thanks to the Assemblyman. Thank you again.
Again, I would like to thank everybody for coming and supporting this effort and really celebrating this wonderful day in the town of Islip. Look, we all win when we work together. I think that is the moral of the story here. We all win when we work together. In the end, our community wins. We as elected officials have done our jobs. All the organizations who have pressured to make sure and really kept the process moving by speaking out publicly about these issues have moved the envelope to a point where we're able to come back. So again, I want to thank everybody, and I can't wait to see this in the heart of Brentwood. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.